Yo, it's your guy Ben Duren, the illest film reviewer and fan in the galaxy, back again. And today, man, we talking that Crisis on Infinite Earths, yo. Like, the mid-season finale, whatever it's called, came upon us. We got three, I would say three solid episodes, and one lackluster one, which was the opening one. But yeah, so I wanted to take some time to marinate my thoughts and opinions on it, and took a couple of days to take some notes and really think and dive into what I liked and what I disliked. So to start this joint off, to get it popping, I'm gonna go, just talk about my dislikes because I like to end these videos positively. So I'm gonna end all my likes and I'm gonna, start off with the dislikes. So my first dislike was Batwoman as the paragon of courage. I disliked her. I didn't like it. I didn't like her being a new kid on the block and getting such a huge role. It reminded me of how like Captain Marvel, like we literally just got that character in her movie, and now she's going to be like a big part in the Infinity Saga, which has been 10 years in the making. And she's going to play such a huge role. Like that's what it reeked of to me, and I didn't really like that. I'm not a fan of Supergirl at all. I know that's gonna make a lot of people mad, but I'm not a fan of Supergirl, so I didn't like the inclusion of those storylines when I honestly, to be real, don't give a fuck about most of those characters. Like they literally got rid of every one of my favorite characters on that show. Starting off with Maxwell Lord, that was my favorite character. Then Wynn, left. But yeah, outside of Martian Manhunter and Tyler Hoechlin's Superman and this Lex Luthor, like whatever. So I didn't really like the inclusion of Lena, all that stuff. I don't care. So yeah, the action sequences in the first episode were kind of lackluster, and it had me lackluster and down there slip of the tongue. But yeah, they were kind of lackluster in the first episode. Compared to the previous crossovers and the later episodes, and it was like they were just like doing like panning shots of like people just swinging punches and shit, like punching like cannon fodder basically. They didn't like, okay, just the army of shadow things. All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't really fuck with that. So it was like, all right, because for me, I tune into the CW crossovers for the character writing because I know the action isn't going to be that good. But man, y'all give me such dope sequences in Crisis on Earth X and Elseworlds. I thought it would be different, but the first episode was whack. The second episode was better, and the third one was better with the action. So it stepped up. Okay, we Supergirl's plan was just it had dumb written all over it. It kind of annoyed me how long it took Batwoman to tell that bitch no, because it's like, yo, you're dumb. Your plan is dumb. Go sit your ass down so we could like make plans to actually save the rest of the multiverse. Like it was just a bad idea. Like what the fuck? Like, and why didn't anyone else tell her that this was a bad idea? We have all these super people on this thing, and the only person that could on this thing on the Wave Rider, and the only person that could tell her it's a bad idea is Lex. That's a problem. Lex seemed like more of a hero in that moment than anybody else. Also, I felt they should have made the crossover 6 episodes and dedicated one of those 6 episodes to give us an in-depth look into the Monitor's motivations and backstory, along with the Monitors as well. I feel like that was something that worked well with Infinity War and Endgame, more so Infinity War, where they basically, told that story from the perspective of Thanos mostly. Like you had, your heroes and everything, but it was mostly told from the perspective of Thanos. And it gave the writers and the film an opportunity to fully flesh out his motivations, and which honestly made the character iconic. Like I think Thanos is one of the most iconic film villains we've ever had, and I felt they're doing an amalgamation of the Crisis on Infinite Earths and New 52 Monitor. So that would have been something good to see, was just an episode dedicated to him, but whatever. Um, Also, just a little side note: why are the heroes like? Why are their kids so just dumb? Like Mia clearly gets her brains from her mom because her mom is dumb too. Her mom's the Will Smith. It was an iRobot. He said it best. You're the dumbest smart person I've ever met in my life. Like that literally sums up Felicity, and it felt like she just gave her dumbness to her daughter, and it's like because it's like, yeah, Oliver may have been a dick, but he was just never stupid, delusional maybe, but not stupid. And it was like Nora was too, because it's like that Lassie pit plan, like the Lazarus pit. like that had dumb written all over it. Like you even have experienced people telling you, "Yo, this is kind of stupid." Like Sarah, who you know kind of came back to life because of a Lazarus pit, and it's like you're not going to listen to her because you want your daddy back. Okay, sure, you're very smart. Yeah, so that was something else I didn't like. I'm tired of seeing like just stupid. These characters do stupid things. Like you have these super scientists like Cisco, Caitlin. Like it happens on the Flash more so than Arrow, but and they're just so dumb. Like. Ugh, it's annoying. It's annoying to see because I know the writers. When the writers are on their game, man, it's some of the best television that you could watch. But I guess we're just gonna keep making dumb characters. So, and also, yeah, I'm going on a little. I don't care because I give it to y'all raw here. Fuck it. How do we get Last Jedi Luke Skywalker in the form of Kevin Conroy's Earth 99 Batman? Like, what the fuck, yo? Like, this is the first and probably the last time he'll portray a live action Batman, and y'all do him like that. Like, honestly, once again, you're tarnishing the legacy of a male character to prop up the female counterpart because that is why y'all made her. That was basically the reasoning for making her the paragon of courage, if you ask me, which she was undeserving of. There's plenty of Arrowverse characters that have been around longer than her that could have gotten that title. And it's like, y'all just take another opportunity, like which is why honestly I don't like the Supergirl character because I feel like they shit on Superman to prop her up. Like, there's no way in fucking hell Supergirl is gonna beat Superman in a fight. You can fucking miss me with that bullshit. So, whatever. Like, Supergirl's more powerful than Superman. And then you have that bitch ass nigga tell her that she's better than him. Fuck out my face. Although I still like Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. Like I'm going to be watching that show. That's probably the only that and Legends, maybe a little bit of Black Lightning might be the only CW I watch going forward. So yeah. So I would say that sums up all my dislikes. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna rock it right over into my likes because I know I gave y'all a lot of dislikes, but it's a lot of shit I liked and even loved in this. So I'm just gonna start it off with off the rip that first episode gut punch of the death of Oliver Queen, man. Like, going out like a G too, and like, man, oh my god, man, this character, like, Arrow has been a part, of my life since 2013 when season 2 came on. I went back and binged the Netflix, when it was on Netflix. I binged that whole first season to get ready for season 2, and I was like, wow, man, like such dope storytelling. Like, obviously he's a rendition of Batman. He's not really the Green Arrow from the comic books. Like, from the stories I hear, Berlanti wanted to do a Batman show. They wouldn't let him, so he basically said, fuck it, I'm gonna make Green Arrow Batman. But yeah, man, like, but seeing like just Stephen Amell, man, and the growth as an actor, like he's grown with this character so much, and has become a better performer and actor. And oh my God! First of all, fuck me, the look on Barry's face, because people forget Barry started out on Arrow, and it's like, oh my God, seeing his mentor and his friend laid up like that, he's like, yeah, that's gonna be me soon, nigga. But somebody that he like deeply cared about, like Oliver. I wouldn't say Oliver was as close to him as like maybe like a Cisco. You feel me? Like, where that's like your best friend, but it's like Oliver, they were pretty close. Like, Oliver was really a mentor to Barry when he first started out, and just Barry seeing him laid up like that and seeing that look on Barry's face, man, it was like, wow. And although Sarah was there and seeing Sarah's reaction was good too, it was like, but I really wish they would have had another OG Arrow character like Felicity, Diggle, Thea, or even Roy, like, that have been there to give us another, like, just like finishing it off to cap it off. Honestly, it would have been dope to see Diggle there. I would say if I was to have a character there, obviously because she's his wife, I would have to put Felicity at 1. But if I had my way, it would be in order: Diggle, Thea, Roy, then Felicity. I haven't liked Felicity since season 2 of Arrow, so um, yeah. So and although I've been disappointed with Arrow, like, if to be real with y'all, I haven't really been watching, the last 2 seasons. Like, the season after Prometheus, like, kind of like the Damien Dark season, I wasn't really interested. Season 3 of Arrow is complete trash. And when they introduced Prometheus, that was what got me back. And then they did this Ricardo Diaz bullshit, and I was off it again. And it was like, all right. And but finally, like season 8, there's been no misses. If you ask me, no misses in season 8, all hits. And that's how you send them out. Because to me, Stephen Amell is as synonymous to my nerdiness as RDJ's Iron Man. Like him and this Green Arrows are just so synonymous to each other. And to me, it's going to end up being iconic. So moving right along, love seeing Brandon Routh he basically played the Christopher Reeve Superman, dog. Like oh my god, the Margot Ritter. Like I saw this post on IG where they had the Christopher Reeve meeting Margot Ritter for the first time, and then Brandon Routh's Superman seeing Tyler Hoechlin's Lois Lane character, his Lois Lane. It was like, hey, you look familiar, and it just seemed. Oh, that post had me. Oh my god, man, Christopher Reeve Superman, but reprising his role from Superman Returns while also somehow portraying the first live action Kingdom Come Superman. Like, it's like Inception of Superman. Like, it's crazy. And that was really dope to see. Like, Brandon Routh, his Superman has a special place in my heart. Like, he was one of the first, like, actors that, it's not that I looked into his, like, followed the actor, but just him. Like that, he is how I picture Superman up until Henry Cavill, because Henry Cavill is like to me the epitome of Superman. But if I was to go a second, it would be Brandon Routh, then Christopher Reeve, then you keep going from there. So just seeing him in that Kingdom Come costume, dude. Then when him and Tyler Hoechlin Superman was going at it, was, oh my god. Rocking right along with the Superman. Even though I'm not a fan of Smallville, I have to acknowledge that homeboy Tom Welling came back, and it was cool to see. Lois was kind of, she was getting kind of hot and bothered seeing him cut that wood. She was like, "Oh, he's kind of buff." You just see Tyler Hoechlin like, "What, bitch? Like, you had a baby by me, you know that, right? You can't leave." So, but yeah, but to me, that scene between Tom Welling's Superman and the Arrowverse Lex Luthor is the epitome of the Superman Lex Luthor dichotomy. It's like, one, you get the whole Lex is so arrogant that he couldn't even possibly fathom that somebody like Superman would pretend to be a human like Clark Kent. Like, he couldn't fathom that, because like to him, he would never do that. But then even hearing about him giving up his powers, it's like, dude, you could fly. You were basically a god, and you gave that up for what? And you just hear the crunch, and he looks down. Really? You gave it up to be human? It wasn't you gave it up for your kids. It's you gave it up to be human. And that's really what Lex hates about Superman, is the fact that he wants so bad to be a human when he can be a god, which is what Lex himself wants to be. So to me, that scene encapsulated the whole Superman Lex Luthor dichotomy so well, and it was so cool to see. And I forget, that's the actor who portrays this Lex is from Two and a Half Men. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but oh my god, he plays him so well, because you would think it would be comedic, but it's like it's so much underlying. Like, it's so he's a sociopath, and there's so much underlying there. So yeah, moving right along with Lex, actually, I'm going to continue with that. Yo, he's the ultimate finesser, yo. Like, this motherfucker finessed the Book of Destiny from the Monitor, then goes on a Superman killing rampage, and then finally, when everything goes to shit and you have only the Paragons left in existence, and maybe even Oliver, which I'll get to in a couple minutes, but this nigga finessed himself to being a Paragon. Dog, like what? Ultimate finesser, man. Like, and then stealing away that hype I was gonna have, like, oh, Brandon Routh's gonna do some cool shit at Soups, and oh nope, Lex just ripped that shit away. That's such some Lex shit to do. That's some, like, oh my god. But if I'm to be real, if I'm to be completely 100, I'd rather have Lex in a situation as dire as this rather than Superman. So that's just keeping it real. Also, I had to be honest. The friendship of Batwoman and Supergirl reminded me so much of Barry and Oliver's friendship, and I think that's going to carry on when Oliver's going. I think they're going to be the big two. So it's going to be Barry, Batwoman, and Supergirl as the big three, I guess, as the Trinity. Although I do like it as Oliver, Barry, and Kara, and Supergirl, but he's leaving. Oh man, R.I.P. to my nigga, bro. But yeah, so that friendship, to see them growing as friends and, Batwoman talking her out of a dumbass idea, but also, Supergirl saying, that kind of like that pact they made. Like, you had the courage to stand up, to me. So I'll try and find my hope. Like, that was cool. It was something cool to see. The world's finest right there, the Arrowverse's version of the full finest. Like, when you give me dope moments with these characters, I'll like it. Don't just say that I don't like female characters. Actually make good characters that I will rock with, and I will rock with them. And that's just as simple as it is. Like, one of my favorite characters in the MCU, I mean, kind of, I guess it counts, is Quake. What's her name? Daisy. She has so many names, but Quake from the Agents of Shield show, and then I'm going to put Jessica Jones in there as well, and Elektra. Like, those are some of my favorite characters in the MCU, and they're female. They're my top 10 actually, probably. So yeah. Moving right along. Anytime Constantine is on screen, man, Matt Ryan's Constantine, man, that guy, he plays the character so well. It's like, oh my God, you're perfect, dude. Like, they should just make a fucking movie with you, like, and do your own thing, like make a rated R and all that shit. Like, kind of like the recent I think it was the City of Demons or City of Angels or some shit like that. When Constantine went to Los Angeles, it was a recent animated film they did where you could go gory like that. But oh my God, man, just and seeing his interaction with Lucifer Morningstar, who fucking appeared in the show, whose Earth is rightfully named Earth 666, but it was cool, and then having them help with Mia's dumb plan, but they were trying to retrieve his soul. At least Sarah knew, Sarah knew her way around the ropes, so she knew they had to retrieve his soul and everything. But getting to Lian Yu, that to me, that's the best shit within the crossover. Like Diggle being there, finally, getting to say his goodbye to Olive. Oh man, it's so beautiful, man. But having Lian Yu be the Arrowverse's version of Purgatory and such, the multiverses, because the way heaven, hell, and purgatory works in the DC universe, it's not like it's multiple versions of it. It's one version of it. So there's one version of hell, one version of heaven, and one version of purgatory. And to have Lee and you be the Arrowverse's version of purgatory is kind of dope. Like the name says it itself, but it's kind of like retroactively retconning things. It's dope as fuck. But the Jim Corrigan reveal, the Spectre, like I did not see that coming, honestly. I just thought they were going to kill Oliver off. I even maybe thought they would have had him be a Paragon when they were talking about the Paragons and shit like that. But having him become the Spectre to me is like the epitome. Like the Spectre is literally like vengeance personified, justice and vengeance personified. Like, and it's like he's one of the most powerful characters in DC Comics. I think the presence maybe might be the only one more powerful than him and the Anti-Monitor. But like, oh my God, man, just I can't wait to see that, because it's like, and then he has the Spectre wears the green hood, so it's just so perfect, man. It's perfect, and it also would allow Stephen Amell to come back whenever he wanted to. Like, so he's not dead, and they won't have to go, oh, we got an alternate universe Oliver. Like, this is the Oliver Queen we fucked with and rocked with from season 1 of Arrow all the way to when he died and came back as the Spectre. This is our Oliver Queen. So when he pops up in future crossovers, that'll be our Oliver. So kind of hyped to see that. So yeah, as of right now, that's all I could really think of, because there's so many other things that I like. The '90s Flash, man, the '90s Flash, man. Oh my God, man. Just when he took Barry's powers, because I'm like, honestly, Barry, I don't give a fuck if you die right now or not, nigga. I'm not really fucking with you or your show right now. So you could die for all I care about. I'm gonna be sad afterwards when I think about it, because I'm like, oh, that's my nigga Barry though. He be acting like a bitch sometimes, but that's my nigga. But it's like, oh man, like the '90s Flash, dude. Like finally, John Wesley Shipp getting a proper closing to his Flash, because that show just got canceled. It never got like a season finale or anything. It just got canceled off the rip, which sucked. And the fact that they were able to give him that closing to his character was dope to see. But then that flashback, man, like I never really watched the show like that. I just remember from watching it as a kid. I don't really remember it, but man, just seeing him go out like that, like, oh man. And the last thing he saw was Tina McGee. That was basically his quote unquote Iris West from his universe. Oh man. Hey man, that shit, oh man, it was amazing, dude. So yeah, Black Lightning was also dope in the show. him and Barry meeting for the first time. I would like to see maybe Black Lightning step up and make it a, what is it, Trinity Quadrinity? Is that what the word is? I don't know. Fuck it. But yeah, yeah. So I'm running a little long. I know, but like it's so much to talk about with this crisis. So I actually might, instead of talking about it here, I'm going to do a separate video, probably about a week before the next episode drops, and talk about what I expect and what I want to see from the next one. Proper Kevin Conroy live action Batman. But yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Hop in the comment sections to let me know what y'all fuck with from, what y'all have been fucking with. I mean, I've been reading a lot of things. People, it's been mixed reactions and mixed reviews on how people feel about it. But me personally, my overall feelings of it is I love this, man. Like, I never thought I would even fucking see this, much less like on television. And let's be real, they do it better than the movies do. They treat these characters with the respect they deserve, man. And it's like the movies are just now starting to do that. Like, they didn't give a fuck about these characters. And even it's just, man, like they have more time to, give these characters justice and do them well. So it's like, yeah, man, like it's a beautiful thing to see, man. We live in crazy times. But yeah, so it's been your guy Bendu. I want to thank you guys for tuning in again as well. Like, comment, subscribe, and share, of course. Hop in them comments, and yeah, peace. Be easy.